Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon or Rising. And Taurus, this is your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 13th to the 19th. This week we have the No Oracle card here. We also have the Sattva Oracle card also from the Yogic Life deck. We have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the energy of Death, King of Cups, Five of Wands and the Eight of Cups. So we do have a situation playing out here involving an ending, Taurus. The Death card is absolutely everywhere this week. It just seems that we're in a place at the moment where cycles are completing, we're purging, we're letting go of things that are no longer aligned with us, maybe due to the self-isolation time, really making us look within and consider what is truly aligned with us, what is truly meaningful for us. You are being asked to hold off from the universe this week with any major decisions and allow it to play out in its natural course. That's how I'm seeing that. So maybe just not trying to force it along, but allowing it to play out as it's meant to. So we will unpack that in a moment. I just want to go to the Oracle cards first. So yes, we have the No Oracle card, which I will read out in a moment. And we have the Sattva card from the Yogic Life deck. Now, this is all about getting to a level of greater purity and clarity in your life. And it's about having let go of the things that were holding back in your life. And through that, you will reach a higher level of clarity, a breakthrough in your life. So I feel like this is the state that you are going to arrive at after this death energy comes in. It really is the energy of the Ace of Swords, having that hindsight of being able to look back and connect the dots and understand why, you've been led on the course that you have. And we have the No Oracle card here, which is asking you to wait or postpone on any major decisions this week. So I'm just going to read that one out for a bit more information, and then we'll go to the tarot cards. You have been called to either pause or say no. Saying yes to something that isn't in alignment with you will drain your energy and your time. Hold out for an aligned yes. Often when we are looking for guidance to make a decision, it can be frustrating not to move into clear and considered action. However, timing is everything, and not receiving clear guidance is actually guidance in itself. We all go through times known as waiting periods. These times are crucial for our body to regenerate, the new path to formulate, and the universe to begin creating things on your behalf. You don't need to be ploughing forward all the time to move forward. A potent yes, when the time is right, will put you ahead leaps and bounds. Don't force things now just because it seems like the only option. Take a breather and wait. So maybe some of you are thinking about, bringing a situation to a completion this week because you have time on your hands, because you might be in self-isolation. You're thinking, that relationship, I'm just going to pull out that conversation, or I'm going to tell my boss that's it. Stick the job, had enough. What it's saying is it might not be quite the right time this week. Allow it to play out, or wait for that perfect timing. Maybe the other person might bring up a conversation where there's just that perfect segue into it, where it's going to be really mutually beneficial and go really well. So that's what I'm taking from that. We can see that you've been dealing with a situation in the recent past that has had a level of conflict to it with that Five of Wands. So, the Five of Wands is, it can be argumentative energy, but it's less petty than, say, a Five of Swords energy where the swords come out. So it can be, quarreling with a lover, bickering, getting to that time where, you're just triggered by everything they're saying and doing, and, you're just sort of really wondering if that's, if you're in alignment with this person. In the workplace, it can be, corporate politics or sense of, competition amongst your colleagues as well. Gossip and friendship groups, that kind of thing. Now, I see that potentially whoever is involved in this conflict with you could be the King of Cups. So that's potentially a water sign energy, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And whoever this person is, it is King energy, so it could be a more senior colleague, a boss or mentor, husband, father or father-in-law, somebody like that, somebody in maybe a position of power or authority. Whoever this person is, I feel like you did think that they held your missing piece, your missing cup. In some way, I think you thought this person was going to complete a picture for you, whether it was in romance whether it was, somehow they were going to be the catalyst for that promotion or mentor you in some way. I just feel that this person then maybe hasn't quite panned out the way that you had hoped to, and it's actually, you may have fallen out with this person or ended up in a sense of conflict with them. However, that situation just has not met your expectations. And it could be, maybe this King of Cups has been using his personal power in the wrong way, because the King of Cups is somebody who can be quite, direct and authoritarian. And if we look in the Five of Wands here, we see these people using their wands, which are kind of like our energy, our personal power. They're using them to actually, battle with other people here. So that we have this sense of a misuse of power here. So maybe this person that you're involved with has been misusing that power. That might have been what attracted to them in the first place. So the fact that they were, very self-actualized and sure of themselves. But then I see a sense of them abusing that power, potentially manipulating the situation, maybe just trying to control you. It's that kind of energy. So 5 is the number of conflict in the tarot. It is also the number of change. So whenever I see these 5 cards, my saying is that change is the antidote to conflict. So we need to bring about change. But the universe is saying that there is some, maybe some more information to come in first before you make that change, and you need to hold off this week. And I think the Queen of Swords is going to be in somehow, the catalyst for that. The Queen of Swords can be a truth revealed. It can be a communication that happens that maybe sheds some more light on the situation. She seeks to understand the big picture. She sits on that cliff top, and from that vantage point, she has this full range, 360-degree view. So this is a metaphor for the fact that this week is time for you to look at the situation objectively, gather your information, consider all the perspectives before you make any moves. To be clear, to have all the information, and to be clear on your position. And that's how you're truly going to be victorious when you bring this to a head. That's truly transformative energy to be in. So that's what the Queen of Swords is all about. Getting that vision and clarity on the situation before you go in and make any moves. And, when you do feel like the time is right and you'll feel that energy shift, that's when it's time to bring this thing to a completion. It could come through a communication, or there just might be the perfect opening for you to say, hey, this isn't working, I want out of this job, this relationship, whatever it is for you. Because we have the energy of death here, towards the end of the week. Death is the energy that comes to clear the slate for you so that you can offer in these new beginnings here that we see on the horizon. When I see the death card, I always say that nothing is more certain in life than the cycle of, birth, death, and rebirth. So there is a real rebirth on offer for you out of this situation. But obviously first we need to go through the ending. The death card is also the card of transformation. Queen of Swords is also a card of transformation. She wears the butterfly crown. So somehow, this is going to be very transformative for you, this ending. It's going to be a sense of rebirth, of a phoenix rising energy. So, that's the death energy. We need to surrender to it. We need to embrace it. I think you are ready for this. You're ready for this ending because you know that there's new beginnings right around the corner. And I think if you're honest with yourself, you know that this situation was not fulfilling you on an emotional level. We have the Eight of Cups here. And I think for a long time you were really hoping that this personal situation had that missing cup that was going to fill that, that hole that you felt within, your own sense of emotional fulfillment. But you've come to the realization that it's not it, and it is time to turn your back and walk away and go and, on your quest towards the 9 and 10 of Cups on your own. So, that's what the Eight of Cups is about. It's about turning your back on a situation that, hasn't fulfilled you emotionally, that you've come to the realization that there'll always be a piece missing. You can never complete the person within the picture, with this person or within this situation. So it's time to, get on and move on to the next situation. And the moon here is just the kind of nod to the intuitively. I think you've known this for a while, but it's been a matter of timing and allowing the situation to play out, because potentially there may have been a karmic lesson in it for both parties. So that's what we see here. We see you retreating your energy. It's not fulfilling for you. You're wanting new beginnings in your life. So it's time to surrender to that ending energy when the timing is right. And after that, that's when we have the breakthrough. That's when we get the beautiful new beginning with this Ace of Swords. This is the greater sense of purity and clarity that the Sattva Oracle card was talking about. This death energy that comes in, it creates a space energetically for new beginnings to come in. So the Ace of Swords is a new beginning. It can be a breakthrough in a sense, mentally, or a new idea. It can just be new beginning energy, so it could be in love for some of you, or at least opening up to the possibility of receiving now, because you are being handed this kind of universal gift here on the hand of the divine. Either way, I think you're going to be coming back into your sense of power, recrowning yourself. This is a sword of victory here. So I really feel that by, holding off till you've got all the information, bringing this situation to an ending in the right timing, you are going to be truly victorious, and you're really going to be ready to enter your next chapter with your head held high. And if you notice something about, the characters in this reading, they're all looking forward. There's going to be no looking back in this situation. I think you're all about, the next chapter, making clear, concise decisions for your life, and then moving forward in a strategic way from that point. Okay, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Do keep in mind it is a general reading, so it won't be for every one of you. Feel free to leave me a comment, because I always love to know if it resonates and how it's playing out in your daily life. And I'll see you back here next week for another reading.